2 minutes past 5, and I'm calling the meeting of the Delaware Trust Board to order for March 21st, 2018. We
Dates
don't
were-
have the chief here.
The date's wrong on here. It says March 20th.
On the agenda, it says the 20th, but it is the 21st today, and
Yep.
it is our regularly scheduled meeting. Joe, would you want to offer prayer?
Creator, I'm coming to you this good spring day like His Creator. We thank you for this weather like His Creator. We thank you for the 4 seasons, especially spring and summer, Creator. But we thank you for all the seasons. We thank you for Mother Earth and the animal world and all the trees and rocks, everything you put on Mother Earth, Creator. We thank you for this meeting place where we gather, Creator. It means a lot to the Delaware people like that, Creator. Creator, just ask you to guide this trust board in the right direction to make the right decision for our Delaware people like that, Creator. Creator, I ask you to look after our servicemen and women wherever they might be, Creator. Just bring them home safely, Creator. Creator, I ask you to look after the veterans that returned home and need you in their life, Creator. Just to get them back and get them back in the groove of things, Creator, and help them along and to do what's right, Creator. In the most heavenly name, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Juanishi.
Come on in, we just barely got started, so.
We need to call the roll yet, Homer. You're on time.
Well,
But that's your grandson, isn't
Billy. I'm never. I not be on time. Never.
it?
Would you want to do the roll call and for his absence? Thank you.
Chairman Mary Jo,
Here?
Member Roger Stewart,
Here.
Treasurer Joe Brooks,
Here.
Member Homer Scott,
Here.
Member John Thomas is absent, and Assistant Chairman Nicole is here.
We do have a forum. We welcome our guests.
You didn't call Brother Crawford, did
Oh, no, Secretary Brenda Crawford is absent.
you?
And she had let us know ahead of time. She's in Albuquerque with her granddaughter.
Yeah.
That was arranged quite a while back. And we welcome our guests. Hello, Kate. And your people with you there.
Freaking Frank.
Oh. Okay, do we have minutes for the February meeting? Yes, we do. Whenever everybody is done looking over the minutes, I will entertain a motion.
I didn't give a Cultural Preservation Committee report, did I?
I think I took the minutes for this meeting, so must have written that
I
down.
was absent, yeah, because I had a governor's report.
Yeah, I remember that. So I guess you did.
Maybe I did. You had a doctor's appointment, I'm gonna make the motion then that Homer's absence, was it the last meeting on
That was the February meeting.
That
February?
was the one you called,
Yeah, that's when I called and said I had
the
it.
real meeting was like the next day or something. Got changed because of
It
the
was
weather.
already excused absence, I don't know if we did. I don't
You
think
didn't
we
even-
addressed it, did we?
No,
John.
So just let it go, we didn't even address it. That I see.
John, you didn't miss very much. We had the prayer and we took the roll call, and she's marking you present now, and we are.
Oh, you
now-
gonna mark me present?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Oh. Sorry about being late.
That's all right.
Kat, I was I'm glad I don't live no further than I do. All of a sudden I heard the news, that, oh, it's 5 o'clock. I was big on the computer, I was kind of writing stuff, I just got all caught up, so.
That's easy to happen. Well, right now, we're looking over the meeting
That was
minutes,
on Thursday. Yeah, and I called in.
February meeting.
Called in and I said,
Oh, okay,
I'm
ours,
at work.
It's not
Yes.
there, so
okay.
it's- Yeah, these are unapproved.
No, we have-
These are unapproved minutes, so with a correction, I'll make the motion to approve the minutes
Okay, what's your correction?
to list Homer Scott's absence as excused because he had
Okay.
a doctor's appointment.
Yes.
And
So that's something that'll need to be added to the minutes.
with respectfully submitted, Charlie Mann, Roger Shrewd, is for Mark Vernon Crawford.
That changed.
Was Vernon sick too, Robert? Was Vernon sick that day too?
No,
Well, it was quite an impromptu meeting.
This is the one that had to be rescheduled. This is
Yeah.
not the regular meeting.
Yeah, it wasn't a regular meeting anyhow.
So it wouldn't have made any difference.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
Or either
difference,
one
but
or-
we'll list it.
Okay.
As approved. You want to request mine, because I couldn't make it either, I had a previous meeting. Or I would have been here.
Just make them all excused, so it's a special meeting.
I think so.
According-
I'm
So
sure.
they are
According to my phone call, I was, said they had that special running and everything like that, that, whoever didn't show up, because it was, shorter notice that, everybody be unexcused.
Maybe excused.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, they had excused.
I agree, because it wasn't a regular meeting.
Yeah, because it's, well, it's the next day,
Yeah, that's
you
very
guys are
short
on short
notice.
notice.
I would be agreeable to that. So we have a motion to approve the minutes as corrected. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the minutes of the February 22nd, 2018 meeting as corrected, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. And next we have the treasurer's report. Joe?
Not good. As of January the 31st, we had $4,568,387.23. As of February the 28th, we had $4,455,028.36 for a loss of $113,358.87.
Scott Thompson at the special meeting was talking about how the market was doing a correction.
I want to also add to the report, because I like to bring all the people on different committees up to date. Reinvestment, you had carry forward to $13,365.08. Your budget was $16,062.10. Right now, your balance is $29,427.18. Cultural preservation, carry forward to $21,707.51. Budget was $16,062.10. We spent in February $16,008.84. Leaves a balance of $36,160.77. Community service, carry forward was $25,414.51. Budget was $40,155.25. We spent $8,086.91. Leaves a balance of $57,482.85.
Large balance.
Education. This was an unrestricted donation, $320. And the budget was $48,186.30. Expenditures, $16,899.16. leaves a balance of 31,607.14, and that'll change drastically as soon as Maryland gives her report. They hadn't hit accounting yet. Elders Committee had a carry forward to 12,179.32. Budget of 8,031.05. And spent 659.78. Leaves a balance of 19,550.59. Veterans Committee carry forward at 12,437.38. Budget was 8,031.05. They spent $73.35. Leaves a balance of 20,395.08. Tribal operations, which is a tribe, carry forward was 28,88.32. Their budget was 24,093.13. No money spent, so it leaves a balance of 26,981.45. Thank you.
Thank you. Leslie, do you have anything to add or comments on the treasurer's report or anything financial?
No, we made a little loss, but I would expect us to creep back into a more level. Reinvestment wise, we did spend our reinvestment money in March to get us a little bit more. Other than that, sorry to say, we're just rolling along for the year.
I do think the investments will show a turnaround in the future, that was just a temporary correction.
Where did it seem that this is bear market?
Never can keep track of which is a bull or a bear. Do you know which is a bull or a bear market?
Which,
A what or a what?
You know how they talk about it's a bull market or it's a bear market? I can never
No,
remember which is which.
Same here. I can't discern. I still don't know east and west yet, so.
If you remember, last year we had one big down month also. Hopefully this is our down month and the rest of them will be proper.
That's what I'm expecting.
I hope.
That's what's being speculated is that, you know, we went really, really high and then all of a sudden there was gonna have to be some form of fall to get it to go back into a more level and
Yep.
that January,
It
February
couldn't
was
keep
gonna
going
be.
month after month like it was.
No, not the way we were and the stocks were. There was no way it could continue like that forever.
you know, we was running high because of the Trump presidency.
Do what?
Is that why with the markets was running high and pretty stable because of his presidency?
See, that's what a lot are speculating, is that since he's been in his first year in office, that yeah, you know, the stock market's increasing, economy's getting better, you know, people are out spending their tax money now, things like that, you know, so, but, you know, that's just too much with politics, and I'm just looking for steady growth.
Yes, Joe.
If you all pay attention to the stock market, they fell the very next day after Trump announced that he's going to put a tariff on aluminum and steel. The stock market went boom.
You know, I keep, excuse me, I kind of keep up on a lot of that daily. And that's why I caution our board here to be careful what we do. Because I understand where Trump went with the stock market and everybody was behind him and his tax cuts. And I don't see any good in the future. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding his presidency, and we don't know what might happen. You know, if we have a constitutional crisis, we have to have whatever it is that might come down the pipeline. Whatever it is, it won't be good, and that's why. You know, we just gotta be careful of what we do. I mean, it all looks good. You know, it looks good right now. Oh, it's happy times. But we gotta wait and see. I think, you know, I see a lot of danger coming, and I'm not predicting anything. I'm not for Trump. I'm not against Trump or any of them. I'm against all of them. you know, the truth is known, you know, but anyway, that's not neither here nor there, and I'm not trying to be talk on a favorable basis toward Democrats or Republicans or anybody else. But this is just what I see, and things may happen very, maybe Mueller will be finished up in another 3 to 6 months, I'm not sure. We need to know what's gonna happen between now and then. If Trump is going to try to bar Bill, it will automatically create a constitutional crisis. There will be impeachment proceedings. I don't know how this is going to affect the stock market. The taxes was a sham. Most of us are out spending our little $2 that we may have cut on our check, or $1.25 or $4. Most I heard was old regular working guy, you know, well, we got back $4. But anyway, we know it was for the rich. We know he's coming after the Social Security and Medicaid. We know he's coming after the Indian reservation and Indian lands. But anyway, I just see bad news, and we really need to keep on top of this financial stuff. That's for sure.
Yes,
That's all I wanted to say.
That's
Thank
correct.
you.
Yes, Roger.
Too many times I've heard this, what might come down, creating a rainy day fund for this and for that. But I gotta tell you, if you live in fear of what might happen, you find yourself paralyzed when you try to do something, because the sky's falling.
You don't want to be paralyzed and not
No.
do anything, you're for sure.
I want to be able
anywhere.
to, you know, money's like, it's a tool. It should be used as such, you know, not held on to, I'm going to do something else. Oh, shit.
Are there any other comments on the treasurer's report?
If not, I'd entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report pending audit.
So,
Okay, we have a motion, a second.
Second.
Motion and a second to accept the treasurer's report pending audit. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is passed. Okay, community service committee report. Joe?
Community services. We approved 5 burial for a total of $3,750, and our meeting was Monday, by the way, for $3,750. We approved 2 emergency assistants for $240 each, for a total of $480. We approved 3 dental for $900. We approved 1 elder optical for $240. We approved 1 elder prescription for $39.65. We approved 1 rental assistance for $240. We approved a student optical for $139 even, for a total of $5,788.65. That's our community services report.
Okay, is there any comments or questions on community services? If not, we'll move on to cultural preservation. Homer?
There's several things I need to talk from on the last meeting and everything, had all my reports and everything ready, then I just put my reports. But anyway, we had that stomp dance and everything turned out pretty good, considering with the changes on other tribes. But we made a good deposit and plus a gain, a little bit of gain on what we had sold and everything on crafts and all of our items that we had and donations and stuff. We had our culture night. We had a hot dog deal and culture night, and we discussed a little bit about on crafts, on what crafts and everything we would like to have. And there's a number of people had mentioned that they would like to go back to moccasin making, and everything we're wanting to find out what others, when you were talking about ribbon work and everything like that. I had mentioned, you know, that what we need to do is start getting ready for the powwow. That we need to get some of our, for our Delaware night before the powwow begins, practice on our social songs and everything. And so we're going, on our next meeting, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We've also had mentioned that we're going to have a stomp dance right out here. Let's see, when was that? April. I forgot what that day was. Anyway, we're going to have a stomp dance here, and it's just going to be like a social stomp dance, like our culture, like a culture night. It's just a little potluck deal, you know, whatever. And whoever shows up, because we want to break this stuff grounds out here. And we, let's see what else. I had so many things I wanted to talk about, and I kept with that. Anyway, right now, I'll give probably a better report on the next meeting. Depends on, you know, when I'll have a better report. I have everything written down on the next meeting. And our setup for the stomp dance for next month.
Yes, John? Oh, no, I was just gonna ask if anyone had questions or comments, so go right ahead.
You know, these stomp dance situations here, programs that we have with it, you know, we don't, we're not really say a ceremonial ground. We don't have that here within our nation, within the Delawares. We don't carry a funnel like a lot of your traditional programs will, and there's certain things that they did, that they had hereditary type of leaders and stuff like that, so we don't really have those kind of things, which is, you know, I'm not saying that's good or bad or anything, but maybe we should we should point it out that it's kind of like more of a social dance, you know, so that people, most of your stomp dance people, I think they're kind of used to this now. You know,
Yeah.
most of them, we've gone to them and we talked to them and stuff like that about our dancers, so that there wouldn't be any confusion, you know, maybe with some people who may be thinking, well, this is not really a stomp ground, you know?
Yeah.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
we know it's not. It's a social ground.
It's a social ground. The reason why we put it out here for a social ground, because, like you said, we don't have a ceremonial ground stomp ground. This is to teach the young people stomp dance songs. Back in the old days, where I live at now is my grandfather. He had the stomp grounds at least once a month, and he's the one that kept that going. And so that's what I was trying to do a few years ago, and people would like for me to get it back started, and so I've been thinking about getting that back started. On our, when I had it a few years ago at my place, I had the stomp dance leaders I put out in the flyers on the stomp dance that I had at my place, that I would like to have the original old stomp dance songs, and that we was going to judge on the old traditional songs. And that I had also mentioned that I would like to have, like I said, this has been a few years ago, that I would like to try to get back what we had on our stomp dance ceremonies for, your spring for your planning and things like that. And that's what I'm working on, and that's for my, for, as far as the Jackson family goes.
Yeah. You know, and I agree with you there too. You know, it's not really lost. It's just that a lot of times because of our particular lifestyle, with this particular tribe, you know, we've been probably assimilated and colonized. I've had people ask me, say, how do you guys even survive? You know, seemed like there was some Christian on your tail all the way. But anyway, it can be. I think it can be revived. You know, if there's you got grandchildren, you got children, you got grandchildren yourself. You still have that ground. You still have that land. There is help, you know, for us to kind of like, if we wanted to do kind of like do it more traditional style.
Yeah.
You know, out at your place.
Yeah, so
I think
that's
that'd be
what
a
I'm
wonderful
working on,
thing.
and I'm gonna give up my relation on, I think they still have some of the, had taped some of the old, stomp dance, songs. And when, I get a hold of all that, and I can start bringing it up here and teaching some of the young people. But, a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of that out there gonna be, secular, deal on our ground.
Well, thank you for your comments and
Did they
questions.
do that in the wintertime up there too, huh?
Yep.
All winter long?
Yep.
It's tougher than we are with.
Yeah.
We'll need to be moving along with other committee reports. Education Committee, Marilyn?
The committee met Monday, and let's see, we approved 14 full-time scholarships at $400, and 4 part-time at $200, and for a total of $6,400. Our spring scholarships, there's 61 of them been awarded for a total of $21,600. And we also approved 4 education assistants and 2 athletic assistants for $292. That's a total.
You had that part too. I was afraid you didn't get a copy. I didn't have a copy of it, that's why I didn't think anybody did.
Are there any comments or questions on the Education Committee? If not, we'll move on to Elders. Kate, would you like to give the report for Elders Committee, please?
Well, there's not.
If you want to come up and have
You
a
can,
microphone.
if you'll sit right there, we can just bring that over to you. You, this is working. Yeah, that, yeah.
But we want a mug shot.
Yeah.
Okay, there's not really a whole lot to report. We did go to downstream, and it was a long drive down there for just a couple hours to play, but everybody enjoyed themselves. And they even enjoyed it even more when we get back here, because Aunt Bonnie has to have her ice cream, her Braum's ice cream. And everybody had fun. They were sure glad to get back on the ground, because they said, oh, my legs are hurting sitting down there that long of a ride. But we all had fun, got back safely. We haven't planned out anything else yet.
You broke now, ain't you?
Pardon?
You're broke now, ain't you?
Broke
Broke.
down?
You're broke from the casino.
Oh, yeah. Broke before I got up there. They only gave us a $7. They gave us $7 free play. That's the least amount anybody's ever given us.
Yeah.
But we got a $10 food voucher.
Yeah, $9 food voucher, it's $7,
No,
free
mine
play.
said $10 free food voucher.
Huh?
Mine said $10 food voucher.
It was a $9 food voucher, and after you get 10 points, as you turn that in, it gives you, they change it over to 10.
Well, they just told me to run the kiosk, so I did. So I got $10. We said, Arlena and I got our food. I guess you did.
Yeah, I got mine.
Some of them didn't even want to get up there and get their food voucher and get their food. So Arlene and I, we ate ours on the way back. But we have fun.
You good, Sam?
I did.
Oh, I see.
Okay, who's this go to?
But it's glad you back.
Does anybody have any questions on Elders Committee? And also the minutes are included in our packet here. Thank you, Kate.
You're welcome.
Good
One
job,
issue.
Kate.
And reinvestment, I don't see the minutes from reinvestment in the packet here, but I know there was minutes because I wrote them myself and handed them in the very day of the meeting. So Leslie, do you have any comments on reinvestment?
I haven't seen any, no. I know you wrote them up.
And I handed them in.
I
Why they aren't in
haven't
the
seen them.
packet, I'm not sure. At any rate, the reinvestment funds are current now. They are in the reinvestment part of our harvest asset management like they're supposed to be. So that's all caught up. Tribal operations,
No report.
okay, no meeting, no report. Veterans Committee, we have Veterans Committee meeting minutes in our packet, which is really nice.
The Veterans Committee met on February 28th, 2018, and discussed was donations for buffalo inscription, you know, the stone at the base of buffalo. It was going to be, you know, just inscribed with whatever they decide. But anyway, they expected possibly in 6 weeks to have a dedication ceremony out there. The War Mothers defeated the veterans in that chili cook-off.
No rub it in.
They said a fantastic time was held by all, but still lost.
Had a big crowd.
The Copan auction was discussed, and it's gonna be Saturday, 10:30 at the Berkshire camp. We need to start promoting this as much as we can.
Need to promote
We can get it cleaned up
it. Jack will have it mowed.
and we need donations also for the auction. We've got some spare Rembrandt on the wall, etc. We take it, Homer takes it off. March 24th is going to be the Chelsea Boys and Girls Club Tom dance? 24 dance. Huh? Board dance. Yes. And, let's see if we do that. War Mothers want to have joint meetings 2 or 3 times a year with the veterans. So, might get together then and plan in the future. Our next meeting's March 27th, 2018, at 1800 hours. At 6 o'clock. That's all I have.
Thank you, Roger. Does anybody have any questions or comments on Veterans Committee?
Oh, I'd like to add that we're having the War Mothers need to contact Kenny and see how many are going to that TU sit-down dinner with fancy clothes. You know what I'm talking about? Hey,
Nancy, they was gonna see about getting a sign-up sheet to see how many people were gonna go to that, because she wanted their names and their addresses, because they wanted to mail out a formal invitation to that.
yeah, it's gonna be a formal affairs with hand delivered invitations.
What date?
March 30th.
30th or 31st?
It's gonna be on Friday.
On TU, I had it. TU campus, what is it? courtesy ground or something.
The dinner is for the president or vice president of the TU has said they've been connected the Veterans Committee about on a lot of things, getting back with them on bringing in colors on different games and stuff like that. And this was a way to try to get the Delaware into going to some of these games and bringing in colors.
I think that'd be great. Well, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes and reports of the various committees as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes and reports are approved as presented. Any unfinished business?
I'd like to send my apologies for the rude and crude behavior that I exhibited last, our joint meeting with the tribal council. It wasn't my intention, I didn't come with that in mind. And before I was even heard, I was cut off. Well, I just wanted to say, Nathan Young IV, we're gonna have to start respecting our chief. Stop arguing with Joe, they're your elders. You should show this level of respect with both of them. All like
I'd ask that the name Nate Young be left out of the minutes. We're not supposed to be discussing that.
I think the general principle of always treating each other and all our tribal members with respect is a principle.
I agree.
For
I agree
everyone
with
to
you,
follow.
Roger, 100%.
I would like to apologize for a lot of things before, because I couldn't make that meeting, because of, mercy deals around my place. But I was kind of upset about, what was said to me on the meeting and everything. I wish I could have been there, because I wanted to say a few things, but I just happened to be, I couldn't make it.
Things come up that you can't help, that's true. Joe, did you have any
New business?
comments? Yes.
I've got a comment to make. There needs to be something done about it. This trust board pays for part of the newspaper. There's different deadlines for different people. Depends on who you are. And also, I had a confidentiality notice on the bottom of my article. And I'm sure my brother did, probably too. But conveniently, one of the other council members has already received it. That gives them a chance to counter what we said. And that is absolutely corrupt. It's not correct. It's not the way to be doing things. I don't know who gave them these copies of these articles, but I intend to find out. The deadline for the paper is the 15th of the month following the date of the newspaper, which is April the 1st. The deadline was March 15th. Well, it's funny, some people get to turn them in, and I seen emails going back and forth asking for extensions. It's not right. Why should anybody get an extension? They've had 3 months to prepare their article. And it's not right for certain council members to be able to read somebody else's article and then counter it. It's absolutely not right.
Ambush politics.
Joe, has that newspaper went out yet?
Nope, goes out.
Can we,
April 1st.
make a motion here that we withdraw our portion of that funding for that newspaper, if that's the case, pending any kind of, maybe investigation or whatever has to be done? Why should we pay for something like that?
How much funding comes out of the trust board, Leslie?
I not produced any funding out of the trust board for the newspaper.
We used to pay for a good portion of it.
Right now, it's being funded through 106 funds.
Everything's funded through 106.
What is that, cash cow?
Yeah.
cash cow,
That's
yeah.
the cell tower money. Of course, that possibly may go away.
Yeah, that
We'll
might.
know
Now,
tomorrow.
it is gonna go away, period.
That's a shame.
We'll know
It's
tomorrow.
gonna go away. There's no need, we can wish and hope, but Trump has Andrew Jackson's portrait in his office. You know, I mean, that should tell you everything. From day one, he's already announced he's gonna get rid of the reservations. He's opened them up for mining and,
John?
excuse me.
Excuse me, John, I don't mean to cut you off
That's
either,
all right.
but we have some people that have other appointments, so we need to stay right on track here and move along. Did you have anything else, Joe?
There needs to be something done about it.
Okay, and you're gonna investigate
I
this
am going to
further,
investigate
and you'll get back with us on
And
this.
if our newspaper editor released that information,
Do they have a
I'm gonna file
newspaper
a
committee
complaint against
anymore?
Huh?
Do they have a newspaper committee anymore?
One person, I think,
That's it.
yeah.
Small
And Greg Brown and his son. But they live out of state. But I put right on the bottom of my cover sheet for my articles, confidential, not to be released until the newspaper is printed and mailed. But yet one of our council members has a copy of it. That's not right.
No.
And not only that, they're giving some special council members the privilege of extending the time by a week. Instead of the 15th, they're getting to the 21st, 22nd.
I think whatever the deadline is, it should apply.
Should be a
Everybody's
deadline.
the same.
Should apply to everybody on this trust board, should apply to everybody on the tribal
Deadlines,
council.
rules, whatever, should all be.
Rules should be
applied
rules for everybody.
evenly.
That's my complaint, that I intend to follow up on it and do something about it. I'm gonna also make this public at the next council meeting.
Somebody should submit an article and see if they can get it in there.
Depends on who you are. Mine was all turned in on the 15th.
I remember you telling me what the deadline was.
Mary Jo's was turned in on the 15th.
Mary Jo,
Yes.
just one quick thing. We're at new bids, we're probably getting ready to shut down here, but I want to accept my brother's apology and also Homer's. I want the trust board to be alert. We are under attack, and it shouldn't be that way, especially from our tribal council. We should be working together.
I agree.
We are the same people, we're the same tribe, we are the same families. And for certain individuals on the tribal council to take pot shots at the trust board in our integrity, insinuations that we're mismanaging money, that we're double dipping, and other accusations that this person has mentioned. I just want the trust board here to be aware that we are under attack by the tribal council. I approached what I consider my tribal council person. That's the one I voted for, and I asked him if he was aware of this, if he was aware what was going on. And I will ask the rest of the tribal council, and my brother Joe here is one. And I like to clarify that because it was disrespectful that I called Joe and Chet my brothers. This person made an accusation that at one side of my mouth I might say something bad about somebody, and then on the other side of my mouth I will call Joe and Chet brothers. These men, we fought battles together way before this trust board or way before these people even knew they were Delaware. We were out there fighting these sovereign struggles. But anyway, I just want to let our trust board know that be careful. I guess be whatever diligent on anything you might do. Say we're under attack by. My God, by our own people, by our own tribal, our people supports us, actually. Everybody that I polled and everybody that I talked to, they support the trust board over the tribal council.
John, I agree with you, except it was not the whole tribal council, it was 4.
And if one in control of it.
There's three of us that voted that it should, half of it
Yes,
should go to
certainly
trust.
the whole tribal council isn't a solid block, it's 7 individuals.
Yes, and I appreciate that too, but it was set under their umbrella. If whoever wants to get out from under that umbrella and say differently, they can, they have a right to do that too. They may not agree with these individuals or people that are demeaning us. It's an insult to us. I'm ready to answer anything that any of them may have pertaining to myself.
Well, certainly trust board meetings are open to all tribal members, and anyone who has any
Sure.
comments or questions is certainly welcome to come to the meetings.
I'd like to know from our accounting here, if there's been any kind of people who is going and trying to get confidential information or financial information or any other kind of information pertaining to any members on the trust board, we would like to know. I don't know if that's been happening, but it made that appearance.
Not that I
Some
know
people-
of.
Not that I'm aware of.
Go ahead, Roy.
So it just seems that some people are in possession of knowledge that they shouldn't have. They shouldn't have access to this knowledge. And for them to turn around and use it like a weapon on us, to try to get us to do something, I believe that's against the code of conduct, tribal code of conduct. And if it turns out to be true, and if it can be proven, I'm gonna take it all the way to the Supreme Court. Because this individual blatantly stepped out of line.
Joe?
I just want to say that my brother, our chief, has been all for working with the tribal council and the trust board, working together. And all of a sudden, it's 4 people on that tribal council. I'm not gonna name any names. 4 people against the trust board, and it's not right. And I was told by one member that the trust board is not part of the tribe. Trust board, who furnishes the services to our tribal members then?
That's the kind of the misinformation and kind of slander that certain members are resorting to in order to degrade the trust board. We're under attack.
I pointed out that nobody on the tribal council has a financial degree, and the trust board does. Not only that, our trust is already set up. The only change I would like to see made to it, if we do get half the money, is to raise the minimum that we can go down to from 3.8, raise it to 4.8. That we can't go any lower ever than 4.8.
And that would strengthen the trust funds.
Yes.
Did you know that some of the things that were 3/4 of the vote is needed to kind of change a trust board, and also some of the things that are constitutional? If you remember later on, when I first got with the trust board, I volunteered to help the tribe and the trust board to get 100 people here to a general conference meeting, to our council meeting. I volunteered to do that. I was attacked viciously and unwarrantlessly, because actually nobody here knew me. Not anybody on the trust board or the tribal council, because I was new. I was new up here working with our tribal government. They knew me in my family and where I come from, but they didn't know me personally, nor did they know any of my abilities of even organizing and do that type of organizing, which I'm an expert at doing. I consider myself an expert. I've been doing it now for 45 years. But anyway, the reason I was really kind of hurt about that. And I let it go. I said, well, heck, it's their job anyway. We'll just let them go ahead and do it. Why should I put up with this? And it come to find out. And they don't want 100 people. They don't want 100 people at a general council meeting. Apparently the tribal council don't want that.
Well,
I'm
I
not
think
gonna
it,
name any names, but some of them's got the attitude. In fact, I've heard it from 2 of them. We don't have to answer to the people.
I think at this point, we need to get back onto our agenda here. The next item is setting the time, date, and location. As far as the date, Verna has said that the next routinely scheduled one, which would be, what would it be? April. Anyway, she has a previous commitment to her family. It's a family event that was scheduled every year at this certain time, and they need her help. Anyway, she wanted to know if we could have it at a different date. Let me get my calendar out, please.
I know I'll be out of town between, the 10th and, 17th.
Okay. How would the 25th suit everybody? That is the 4th Wednesday.
25th,
Yes, the 25th.
also move at 5 o'clock right here at the same location. If we post it in this dining hall and on the tribal website, because our tribal members are entitled to be here.
Yes, and
I thought they were supposed to be posted in.
Well, of course, it was short notice the last time. It wasn't posted, so we didn't have anybody here. I'm making that form of motion if it's posted.
Okay, we have the motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
A motion and a second. Our next meeting to be April 25th, 5 PM right here, and to be posted as of this date, time, and place here in the community center and also on the tribal website. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. And now I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at 5:53.